Hey, welcome to ZedTalk. We're with Frankie the Pig. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Great.
Good.
Yeah, great.
I've got them on like a really beautiful day today. It is Sunday, May 16th, and it's gorgeous outside. And so, yeah, we're all inside though, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice weather we're having. Dude, so you guys, it's hard to be a band, but then obviously you put COVID into the mix. How have you guys dealt with this past year? I'll just ask the obvious question right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, it's been really hard, but it's also been like a nice chance for us to grow and do things that we wouldn't usually do. Like, because we can't be together in a room, like making stuff together, we focused a lot on the boring stuff that people don't like to do. Like, we built our website, we're like grant writing right now, and we've really worked on like upping our social media, which is, something you got to do these days. And just, we've been bouncing tracks back and forth and trying to like get the ball rolling as much as we can. But yeah, it hasn't been terrible, but we're ready to get back.
Yeah.
Good. It's good that hasn't been terrible. It's been terrible for some people. Some people are
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 5 out of 10, 5.5.
Are you guys on TikTok?
We
have
yeah.
one TikTok. One TikTok. It's crazy how fast a musician's career can change on there. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing it all the time. If you get one song that catches, it's you're set. You go from 0 to like 100,000 in a night. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So like, what's your guys' name on there so people can look you up?
Frankie the Pig Band.
Oh, wow. That's so surprising. So you guys have released, I think the last thing you guys released was in, correct me if I'm wrong, 2019?
Yeah, I think that's right. It's been a while since we released anything.
Yeah, but you guys have done like, I've seen you guys posting songs and stuff on Instagram, so I guess that's still dropping music to an extent, right?
Yeah, we've been like, again, because we can't kind of be in a room right now, we've been focused a lot on like demoing. So the songs that we have written, recording them at home on our own and sending those tracks back and forth. And we'll probably put some of those up on Bandcamp and stuff like that. But if things get better over the summer, hopefully we'll be going into a studio to record our like full album.
Sweet. Yeah. Will that be like composed of some of the stuff that you guys have put out on Instagram, or?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Got most of it done, actually, like the writing bit.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Amazing. That's tight. And like, so you guys, how many of you guys have been like in a studio setting, like, or was the stuff in 2019 like done in a real professional studio as well?
So I personally have been in a bunch of bands in and out of the studio. I didn't record on Sleepover. That was a drummer by the name of Jackson. What, am I right about that, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The drummers and Frankie, I have no idea.
Yeah. We did it at a studio called Soleil Sound with our buddy Zach. He also engineered and mixed Deuce Everything. And that project wasn't really in the studio. We did the bulk of the drums and the bass and like a lot of the guitar at a church in like North Toronto. And it was crazy. Like, we were just in this giant auditorium and the drums were recorded with like plexiglass all around. And our engineer Zach just had like a mobile rig. Like, he just had his laptop and like a little interface. So considering like what we had to work with, I think it was good. And then, yeah, it was nicer to be in a real studio for Sleepover, but we didn't have as much time as we would have liked. So like, it wasn't everything we wanted it to be, but this next thing is going to be a step up from that. And it's hopefully going to be like a lot more fully realized. Of
course. Yeah, just keep going up different notches.
Yeah.
That first concept of recording sounded really interesting, right? So that was like in did you say a church? Am I wrong?
Yeah. It was at this giant church that used to be a giant strip club.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I think it was like a rock and roll church. Like the pastor or whatever would have a headset and there'd be a band behind him. So it was like a cool church. So they had like a lot of the stuff that we needed there, like cables and mics and stuff. And I don't know. It was free. Like our drummer at the time, his dad like was the pastor there, so we could just kind of spend as much time as we wanted. So that was nice. I think that's why it sounds the way it did. Like we didn't have a ton to work with, but we were able to really zero in on what we did have because we had so much time.
That's dope. Was it a religious experience?
Yes, very.
Yeah, well, yes.
That's tight. That's tight. So, and that was Deuce Everything, or?
Yeah, that was in 2018.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And how did that connect like come about? Like through the drummer, I guess, because that would be
yeah. His dad just worked there, and like on the weekends or like on Saturdays, whenever there wasn't a service happening, we could come in and just there was a sick like green room, like tons of snacks all the time, a bajillion kinds of tea. So that was good while I was doing vocals, and then the rest of it was tracked at in our old guitarist's basement. So we just did guitars there, and then vocals up at our buddy Tyler's place in like Port Perry. So it was just like a whole hodgepodge of things.
That's dope. That's dope. And so this was the drummer that you had in like 2018. And Gavin, you said that you've been in like multiple bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How long has this like lineup of Frankie the Pig been around that I'm talking to right now?
So I joined the band at the beginning of the whole COVID thing. Really, I got a text from Finn one day, and he was just like, "Hey, you drum, and we know you. So do you want to join the band?" Which is really cool because I've known Mike and Charlie, and I played in another band called Tequila Nosedive. So I've known him for a while, and so just knowing the guys, it was kind of, yeah, I'll do this. And then Charlie joined, I don't know, Charlie, when did you join? I know it wasn't long before I did.
I don't remember.
Like
it was
almost been 2 years.
Yeah, it's actually kind of been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 2018 maybe? No. Like maybe halfway through 2018.
Yeah.
Because when you guys recorded Sleepover, like I didn't play on it, but I was like learning the songs and shit still.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And then Mike and Finn are founding members back like, how long is it? 7 years?
I think 7, yeah.
Middle school.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah.
That's tight. So did you guys, as founding members, did you start playing at like high school shows or like middle school shows, like talent shows, things like that?
Yeah, kind of. We didn't actually go to the same schools. We actually met online. But yeah, we played like school fun fairs and talent shows and things like that. We used to play like just Green Day covers and not much else. But as we like, hung out more and also just got better at playing music, we started to write our own stuff. And yeah, kind of just grew from there.
Yeah. How'd you guys meet online?
Kijiji, actually.
Yeah. I was.
Sounds so greasy.
I know.
I mean, it could have been Craigslist. It could have been worse.
Exactly.
I was it was Christian Mingle. But,
Christian Mingle, yeah. Bring it full circle with the church, yeah.
Yeah, but like I just put an ad up because I was in a band when I was really young, like 10 years old, and it ended in 7th grade when I was 13. And we like played around the city, and like we actually like did a lot of gigging because we were so young and everyone thought we were cute. And then that whole thing ended, and I just went on Kijiji and I found 2 people, Michael and then our old guitarist Jackson. They lived within like 5 minutes of me. We were all pretty much on the same street.
Yeah.
And it just worked out so well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Finn, you were in a band when you were 10 years old. So were you the guy that instigated being in a band when you were 10 years old? Like, did you like try to make that happen? Yeah,
it was pretty much like I heard Green Day for the first time. I was like 7 or 8. And then I was really into like AC/DC's Back in Black and then London Calling. And those are like my 3 favorite kind of things at that age. And I'm like, this is obviously what I want to do. And I could always sing. Like I was pretty, like I sang in key and stuff. So I just did that. And I met someone through like through a family friend who played guitar, and then we found a drummer, and it just grew from there. And then, we were like kids. So it just like a lot of like childish drama and stuff, and it just ended.
Birthday parties, shit like
that. yeah, it was really crazy how it all worked out. I'm so glad I posted that ad.
Yeah, and you're still going, man. Cheers. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just gotta like, do it. Green Day's classic, man. Love Green Day.
Of course. They're kind of lacking lately, but
Oh yeah, but what can you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
They're goats forever, just for Dookie and American Idiot for sure.
Oh, they kind of changed pop punk twice.
Yes, that's exactly. On terms of influences, like all across the board, do you guys each have like very different styles, or do you guys all kind of love like pop punk music, or is it just very eclectic? Like each one of you guys likes all kind of stuff. What's kind of the influences there?
I'll take this one. Maybe we can like cycle through, but
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I think there's enough common ground where like when we reference, if we want a part to sound like something, we'll all know what we're talking about. And I think all of our interests are rooted in like punk rock and like emo pop punk type stuff. But we all have like, we branch out like in different directions from that. Like I love Wilco, and like I'm getting into like, like sort of like alternative folk type stuff. And I've just been incorporating that in, and like, like little like, I really like Brockhampton as well. Like I think their production is really awesome. They're just like, that's influenced this upcoming record. There's like more drum loops and like cool synth parts and stuff. So that's what I'd say.
Cool. How about Gavin?
Like Finn said, we kind of all collectively like pop punk. Like Modern Baseball is one of my favorite bands of all time, and Joyce Manor, kind of the whole Philly scene. But then when it comes to writing new parts for the record, I really like jazz as well. Like some of my favorite drummers, Buddy Rich, of course, Joe Jones. Oh geez, the name's forgetting me. Yeah, okay, thank you. But yeah, so when it comes to drum influence, that's kind of where I sit for the new record, implementing not just the snare on 2 and 4. I also love classic like bluegrass stuff, like old Willie McTell and Blind Connie Williams. Just these guys, it was just hard times and an acoustic guitar, kind of like authentic raw music. So yeah, that's where I sit as a listener.
That's super dope. All right, what about Charlie?
I don't know. These guys like they're like Finn and Gavin are all about like kind of country folkish like alt music. I don't really fuck with it, to be real. But like I've been fighting myself to try and incorporate shit from it, and it's working out. Like there's I think it's the Weaker Thans that like really kind of sold me on that stuff.
Yeah, I completely forgot to mention them. They're like one of our favorite bands collectively.
Oh, yeah, they just mix like kind of country and folk and punks like perfectly. Like
wait, sorry,
I think they do it as best as like I've heard.
Or what was the name?
The Weaker Thans. Yeah, they're from Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. And aside from that, I don't know, kind of like more, not really mathy punky kind of stuff. Like there's a band called Great Grandpa that I really like. Their guitars are really cool. And another band called Max Seal that has just like, they just have cool riffs that are kind of like math rock influence. Yeah.
Dope. What about Michael?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar. Like
name. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely kind of similar. Like I also like older country stuff like Townes Van Zandt and other even like more modern folk artists. But I actually grew up listening to like hard rock, like AC/DC and Kiss was my favorite band when I was like 8 years old. For Halloween, I would like put the makeup on and everything. But yeah, I think we all kind of share a lot of common ground in what we listen to. And even if it's not the exact same bands, it's within the same genre.
Yeah. Was that something like you felt like was a must that you guys kind of could come together on terms of like genres and stuff like that when you decided to be this lineup of Frankie the Pig that you are right now?
Yeah. I think when Charlie first came into the band, I had known him as like this very like Hendrixy, like bluesy kind of like shredding dude, because he does that stuff really well. But then he was like, nah man, I really want to like not focus on guitar solos and like play more like melodic stuff. I'm like, that's awesome. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So that worked out really well. And Michael and I, like, since we were like, like 13, we've kind of been on the same page. Like our favorite bands have usually coincided. And same with Gavin. It was really easy. We never really had to like try to push our influences together.
I feel like having a common ground is kind of key when it comes to collective songwriting, right? Because everyone has a basis of where we're starting, and you need to know the history of the music that you're writing, right? You can't just say, I want to write a country tune and like never heard of who Willie Nelson or Dolly Parton is, right? You kind of need to figure that out and understand where you're coming from in order to grow the music even further into a new genre even. So knowing the background of the music that we all like and having that baseline, I feel like it's really helped us songwriting wise.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the city, man. What are like some of your guys' favorite venues to play?
Ooh.
You know what?
To play. It's been so long. What's a
We played
venue?
so many venues with like shitty sound because like up until recently, like most of us have been underage, so we're kind of limited to playing fucking no like shade to these venues. Like they're awesome for doing all ages shows, but like just places with really shitty PA systems and the sound sucks. Like we haven't really had the chance to play venues that have a kick-ass PA, like I don't know, like the Horseshoe or like the Garrison.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, we played at the supermarket.
Yeah,
They have
that was
sound.
really good sound. Junction City Music Hall.
Yeah, Junction City.
I love
has
that.
awesome sound. We played at the Revival, like when we first started out. That like in like Little Italy.
Is it still called that?
I don't even know if it's still open.
I think
I
it's
know
still,
the Mod Club changed their name.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that sounds great. I think we've had the most fun at a place called the Houndstooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a concrete box. It's like dripping with sweat after like 10 minutes.
And have you guys like done busking on street corners ever? I mean, as a band, typically you kind of see that more with solo artists, but is that something you guys have done?
I used
Not
to
as-
all the time.
Yeah, like we definitely haven't done it as a band.
Yeah.
But me and Finn have gone busking before when we were younger.
Yeah, I used to go right at like Queen West, like in front of the Black Bull. I would busk there a lot. And like in Yonge and Dundas Square, when I was young, I would go and everyone likes to see like little kids play music, so like we would like do pretty well. But like since I like kind of started playing with Michael, it hasn't really been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's more like trying to play venues and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of like people hearing us when they want to hear us. I don't like the idea of like imposing my music on someone.
Oh yeah. It's a totally different thing, right? Because you can get like more sort of hecklers and things when you're
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
you never know where you need a permit. Like you could like anyone could just ask you to leave at any time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure for Yonge and Dundas you needed a permit or something like that.
We didn't. I mean, I guess no one ever stopped us. But like, yeah, I've been like asked to leave, and you can't go.
You can't just go until you're stopped, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know now, like since we've been so starved for live music, like when I've been out and about and I've seen buskers, it's been amazing, and I appreciate it in like a whole new way now. Because it's like maybe people I would have just walked by before, but now I'm like stopping and listening, and it's really cool. I think it's really important right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's kind of really the only place where you can hear live music right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Who are some of your guys' favorite bands to play with? Like when you see that they're on a lineup with you, or people that you love to put on the lineup with you.
Sorry Snowman
So sick.
from Ottawa.
So sick.
They're great. Shout out to those guys.
Ricochet for sure.
Ricochet, 100%. They're great as well. I'm trying to think. Who else?
I always loved playing with Tequila Nosedive. Like those were always awesome shows. I mean, a little biased, but
Yeah, a little biased because half of that band is now.
We've played with Fadeaways a couple times, and they're great guys. Like we've been playing with them like since we first started, and it's always really nice whenever we get to see them.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. Have you guys done like a tour of like not small towns, but like cities outside of Toronto, like things like that?
Not yet, no.
I want to soon though.
As soon as we can, we'll be out.
I bought a van. I want to say I think that was so pretty. I bought a van that we plan to use to hit the road when we can, and so that's going to be definitely a game changer to the way we approach live shows.
That'll be super cool, man. You gotta like spray paint the side of the van or something. Or,
Exactly.
You know,
Put a little pigtail on the back of it, a little oinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a song on the new record that's about the van.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's called Westphalia.
Yeah. And so speaking of the pig or the pigtail, is that what the title of your band comes from? Is a legitimate pig named Frankie, or am I fucking around?
No. It's just a completely imaginary pig. I came up with the name. I was walking to school. I was in grade 8, and I saw like a plastic pig, and it had like a superhero mask on, like an Incredibles type mask for some reason. And it was just like on someone's roof on a cloudy day, and it looked like really, really sad, but cool. And like my first thought was that would make like a cool album cover. But then like the more I thought about it, Frankie just came to me for some reason, and we didn't have anything better at the time. So it's just stuck. And now like we're Frankie the Pig, and I don't even think about a pig when I say it. It's just so long.
Yeah, because it's weird. I saw like a news article recently that when I was like Googling you guys and like, I wanted to ask you guys questions about, stuff that I'd looked up. Like I saw a news article that came up that said pig named Frankie is living in like an Ottawa apartment or something. Did you guys see it?
Every time I like go to like Google the name Frankie the Pig, I always get videos of like a farm with like I don't know, some guy filming a pig, and I guess like the pig specifically is named Frankie. But I don't know, apparently there's a lot of pigs named Frankie, more than I would have thought.
Yeah. Okay, so man, do you guys like think of like Frankie the Pig as like a character in your heads that you like? He's like the overseer of your band in a way, or I'm just creating a mythology for
that's way cooler. Like I don't think of anything. It's just like it's just a thing. Like it doesn't. I've always wanted to like shy away from having a pig associated with us because it seems like a little too obvious. Like I wouldn't want our mascot to be a pig or something. Mm-hmm. I think it's just something, and it's taken on like its own kind of life now because it's just been out there for so long. But if that's what people want to think, and if they want to like when they listen to our music, they imagine like a giant all-knowing pig, looking down on them, that's pretty cool.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, I think a good name is something that makes you think about it, and Frankie the Pig has definitely made me think about it. So I mean, yeah, what mascot would you have though? Like, what would be your mascot?
We're working on a design right now that's a bear.
Yeah,
it's kind of stupid because it's like I just thought it was like we thought it was funny that like Frankie the Pig, you're expecting a pig, and then if you see like a donkey or like a snake or something, it's kind of stupid. Yeah, I think it's just kind of like just poking fun at how random the name actually is and how it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
that's a revolutionary new idea, like having mascots for bands and shit. I don't know, maybe that'll take off. Yeah, so when it comes to the songwriting process for you guys, I mean, I could be wrong, but like Finn, do you come up with like an idea and then people follow along to it? I mean, you've been like a founding member and you've, been spearheading it from the start. Like, do you usually come up with the main idea? Usually,
yeah. I'll usually like I've had so much time just to play a ton of guitar and like to get better and experiment with like different stuff. So I've been like, like anytime I have an idea that I like enough to like record, that's kind of how I judge it. Like if I need to record it like right then, I'll know it's pretty good. And then usually I'll send it to Gavin first. I'll get his opinion on it. He'll do something, and then it'll circle around, and then we'll meet on Zoom, and we'll talk about like what we want the parts to be. And Charlie will send something, Michael will send something, but it's not always like that. Like we have a more stripped back song that's going to be on this thing that Michael, he wrote the guitar part for it, and then I built on top of that. So
Yeah.
everyone's super talented. So like you never want to like restrict any ideas.
Yeah. And in general, it's very collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no, I mean, just because one person came up with, you know, the main idea for something doesn't mean at all that it's not totally collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And we really, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, that's me. We go really into depth with the songs when there is an idea. Like I find couple, like a month ago now, we went to the rehearsal factory because it was open. And I think we spent half of our 3-hour period just focusing on one bridge to one song and really just sitting back and dissecting it and getting everyone's opinion, which I have never done with another band. And I think that's really cool how one idea will start and then it flourishes into a totally different thing. And we really go into depth about each part. Because it's, you know, it's one thing when someone writes an entire song and you teach it to everyone, right? But we try and stay away from that. We try to bring an idea and get everyone to work on it. And so, yeah, I think that's just a cool thing to do, surgical songwriting.
That's an awesome way to put it.
For sure, for sure. As we wrap up, guys, so for the rest of this year, is there an album coming? Is that what's up?
Yes.
Sweet.
Why'd you shake your head? You're
Yeah,
like,
you shook your
yes.
head no.
Yeah, there's a great album coming.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, things are definitely still a little reliant on, I mean, what happens with the pandemic, right? You know, in terms of like when we can actually get together again in person. It's been a very long time, but yes, if things go according to plan, there will hopefully be an album out.
Yeah, we're all vaccinated, other than Charlie's getting his tomorrow. But yeah, and then we're gonna like get heavy into the in-person demos and bang out the arrangements. And we've got a line on a studio and like an engineer and stuff, which is awesome. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's like all I think about.
It's all coming together, right? We've been writing these songs and I feel like some of these songs, right, Mike and Finn, you said have been written like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
It's just like it started at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's, you know, it's come to fruition now, or almost.
Yeah, so it's just exciting, and we really feel like, you know, we're trying to do everything right, really listen to every millisecond of the album and make sure it's all perfect.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys for doing this. Super appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, this has been ZedTalk number 11 with the awesome Frankie the Pig. Check out Deuce Everything. Check out Sleepover. And yeah, thank you guys for coming back.
Awesome. Thanks so much.